raise of hands, how many people love history? I hated history when I was your age. Nobody.
He's also a history teacher.
I hated who? Who's history teacher?
He also has a history.
Apologies to you, you were watching. I hated history because it was presented to me in a really boring fashion. Names and dates and things I really could care less about. When I first went on this tour, and I first went when I was the same age as you, on the exact same tour. When I went on this tour, history came alive. I was walking in the footsteps of some of the people I'd only read about. So for example, George Washington's home, big deal, right? As I'm walking into George Washington's home, my hand is on the banister as we go up to the second floor. We're going to the bedroom that he died in. The bed that he died in is still there. That's how cool it is. As we're walking up the banister, the tour guide says, this banister is the original banister that was in the house at the time of George Washington. My hand just touched the same spot that George Washington's hand touched. How cool is that? Then I thought about millions of other people. But anyway, it's all original. It's cool when you see that that's what it was like when he was there. You'll get a really good sense of feeling of how great this man was. If you were to ask George Washington, what is the one thing you want to be remembered for once you're gone? What would he have said? Think about history. Make your history teachers look good now. What one thing would George Washington want to be remembered for? Holler out an answer, students. Quickly. You look really smart. One answer. George Washington, what was he famous for? He was the first president of the United States. Do you think he'd say that? I want to be remembered as the first president of the United States? No, not even on this list. What else would he want to be remembered for? Oh, that's a made-up story that history teachers lied to us about for years. What else would he want to be remembered for? There was a battle, right? A war. The war was with whom? Britain. And what did he do during the war with Britain? He was a general of the Continental. Who's the history teacher here? He was a general. He was a general of the Continental Army. Doesn't that sound important? Wouldn't he want to be remembered for being that? No. The one thing he wanted to be remembered for, the most lasting evidence we have of him, hundreds and hundreds of pages of writing are about his life as a farmer. Isn't that cool? That's what he wanted to be remembered for. Rotational grazing, composting, fertilizer, all those things he came up with. He didn't go to Minnesota, University of Minnesota, and get a degree in agriculture. He experimented, and he loved that study of agriculture. So you'll be able to see where he was buried. That's cool. You'll be able to see where, I like dead people, so you'll be able to see where George Washington was buried. You'll be able to see where a gentleman by the name of Taft, President Taft. Who knows the story about President Taft? Most embarrassing moment in the White House? What was that story?
Didn't he fall through the tub?
He was so large, he got stuck in the bathtub. Thank God there was not face chat, or what is that? Facebook? Chat snap. Thank God there wasn't that, because there'd be pictures today to prove it. But no, he got stuck in the bathtub. That's a good story. Glad you knew that. So you'll be able to see where he's buried, and also John F. Kennedy. And those will be the three that you get to see on this trip.
Arlington is the other thing.
Oh, so yeah, we go to. So have you chosen these players for the?
Yes, we have 4 players.
Are they here?
Not actually sure if it's even going to come in.
Do you know if you're a wreath layer? Please stand up. Okay.
Nice.
So cool. 3 of them are here. Good.
And there's one more that she's just not here.
Okay. I'm telling you that I'm jealous because this is a huge honor that I will never ever get to experience. So every time I look at the students who get to do this, I'm like, dang, I should have done this when I was younger. So I'm glad you have the opportunity. It is a moving experience. In fact, I'd say that Arlington National Cemetery probably is going to be, when everything is said and done, one of your favorite experiences. We will probably see a real funeral taking place. There are about 35 funerals there every single day. Now here's my request. If you see a funeral, I want you to put your cameras away. That's someone's loved one that's being laid to rest. I don't know about you, but if I'm having that family moment, I don't want people taking pictures of that. I will always have those memories stored up here. I don't need to have them stored on a phone. So you're going to be respectful and not do that. With me on that? Appreciate that. Another thing, how many people know what an honor flight is? What's an honor flight? So veterans from Vietnam, Korea, and World War II. All right, the World War II and Korea guys, they're old. They're a national treasure that's not going to be around much longer. So if we are lucky enough to come across an honor flight, here's what I want you to do. You're going to form a receiving line. Students from your school on each side of the sidewalk, and we are going to thank them for their service. The first time I did this, I had a great experience. A young woman came up to me and she said, that was on the trip, she said, can I give that guy a hug? And I said, I think he'd probably enjoy that. He'd appreciate that. So she did. She gave him a hug and said, thank you for his service. And he started to cry. I felt really bad. Maybe I had done something wrong. So I went up and said, I am so sorry. We did not mean to make this difficult for you. And he said, as soon as I can pull myself together, there's a few things I need to tell you. He said, first, when we came home, we had to walk home from the train station. Nobody was there to pick us up. We didn't have a welcome home party or a big ticker tape parade. We put on our civilian clothes and we got back to work. He said, this is the first time in my life that someone has thanked me for my service. Ooh. That's a gift only you can give. Also, he said, I have spent my entire life trying to forget what happened there, and this experience has brought all those memories back. For him, it was part of his healing. And again, that's a gift only you can help to provide. Linda, last year, thanked someone for his service, and he looked at her and he said, honey, I would do it all over again just for you. Didn't say that to me. I don't know. So, then the last day, we're going to do two things that I want you to, here's a homework assignment from your history teachers. We're going to visit the Vietnam Wall. You have been there at night, but we're going to be back there during the day so that you can connect with one of the 58,000 names that are on that wall. Those are men and women who died in the service of their country in Vietnam. Some of those bodies still have not been returned to our country, which really makes me angry, but 58,000 names on that wall. They are nothing but a name on that wall if you do not connect with them. So your assignment is to get on, and you all know how to Google. You get on the internet and you are going to search a name. Now there might be someone from your town or from your county. There's tons of people from your state. If you don't, we have about 450 from Iowa. We would borrow you. But you can look for someone with your same last name. But find a name and do some research on who that person was. To know, were they married? Had they gone to school before? How old were they when they died? How old were they when they went to Vietnam? You need to connect with these names, otherwise they are just names on the wall and mean nothing. Do you follow me on that? So teachers, if you can help to make sure that that happens. Because then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the wall, you're going to take a piece of paper and a lead pencil, and you're going to transfer that name onto your piece of paper. Here's the cool thing. If you know how to get that to one of their family members, again, that's an incredible gift. It tells that family member that person did not die in vain, and that you have done enough to still remember them. And that's powerful. Some of the best experiences I have had are when I get back and I'm able to make that sort of connection with someone I've never met, but I told them that their sacrifice was important enough for me to take time to do that. Then we go to the Holocaust Museum. Here again, there are still some survivors, and they are on a mission. These old people want to make sure that you know what happened during the Holocaust. Because if we forget, what's the rest of the line? History repeats itself, right? The Holocaust survivors are there. You can meet them in person and talk to them. Ask them about their experiences. Ask them, do you see any similarities to what was happening during that time period and what's happening in the world today? There's lots of genocide throughout the globe. They want to make sure that that doesn't continue. You'll be able to identify them by a number tattooed on their arm. A permanent reminder that's been with them every day of their life of the hell that they had to live through. And again, they want to connect to you. A few years from now, students from your school that go there won't have the opportunity to visit with survivors. They'll be gone. So if you find that opportunity, you're going to seize that opportunity and cherish that memory forever. Okay, enough about the itinerary. Quickly into the next thing.